Inclusive India and Right to Cure. September 6, 2018 was an ordinary day for all of us. But for the LGBTQ community, it marked a special day as in the Supreme Court of India delivered the historical verdict that is decriminalizing homosexuality by partially striking down Section 377 of IPC. Justice Indu Malhotra, in her 50-page verdict, highlighted that history owes an apology to the members of LGBTQ and their families for providing delayed redressal for this. Despite homosexuality being decriminalized, the laws in India still remains hostile, and the reason behind that is the enormous gap between legislative and judicial developments of LGBTQ laws in India. So, essentially speaking, the same-sex couples have now the legal right to cohabit and conduct their personal affairs together without any fear, but still denied the equality of treatment in various aspects. So, the fight for equality still continues as there is a long battle waiting ahead. Thank you. Have a nice day.
As we observe Pride Month, which commemorates the Stonewall Riots in the US in 1969, one wonders if India has really come to accept the LGBTQ community. In spite of the increased visibility of these people in recent years, incidents of public outrage against these people continue to be reported. The truth is that 3 years since the annulment of the draconian Article 377 that criminalized gay sex, the queer community continues to be victimized in our country. Recent reports of conservative backlash and violence by vigilante groups against the queers point to the need for a change in societal perception. Only then can we claim that we have indeed progressed from persecution to pride. Thank you.
Well, let's think. Who are we to forbid a section of our society from acquiring their legal rights? When we scroll down through the history of our nation, we will be astonished to find that in India, queerness was appreciated and celebrated even centuries before. It was criminalized only during the period of colonization. Therefore, queerness is at the very core of our tradition. A century later, all great nations, including India, have decriminalized queerness. Still, a part of our society believes that queerness is no part of our culture. The once marginalized section needs consideration, not by granting special rights, but instead guaranteeing equal rights as any other human being. And now that's what we should call pride. Thank you.
Have you ever faced rejection? Well, that's how a community of people have been living since ages, just because their gender don't fall into the set societal rule. Good morning, respected dignitaries. I, Nimsha Salan, student of KE College Mananam, is going to present a speech on the topic Inclusive India and the Rights of Queer. Queer, a word that describes sexual and gender identities other than the straight and cisgender. The umbrella term includes gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, and many more. What started as a 158-year-old colonial rule under Section 377 of the Indian Penal Law continues to be the cause of suffering of the LGBT community. They were labelled as criminals, owing to which they have faced a number of problems when need of social or legal support. However, 6 September 2018 marked the landmark of history as the Supreme Court ruled that Section 377 is unconstitutional and thus legalized and decriminalized gay couples. Yet, India has a long way to go. Even now, LGBT people face huge issues related to violence, unemployment, prejudice, lack of poverty, lack of healthcare, etc. Even same-sex marriage are not yet legalized. But should it matter to us? Yes, it must. Rest of us, no matter who we are, the fight should matter. When an individual's right is violated, everyone's rights are threatened. LGBT rights are everyone's right. Thank you.
Hello, it's the 21st century, where the technologies develop, gender identities diversify, and yet mindset needs to be broken. It is not the mirrors and the societal molds that decide your sex, you define who you are. Beyond the blues and the pinks, there is yet a rainbow to be discovered and embraced. And to them I say, Be proud of being a gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, or queer because you're uniquely different. And to them who accepts and supports them, I say, you are the humane version of the humanity. Because the black and white eyes on the face is created to see all the colors existing in the world. 30th June should not be the end of the Pride Month. It should be the beginning of a Pride year, Pride life, because this world belongs to them too. Be proud, live strong.
Hello everyone, I'm Natasha Theres and I'm doing my post-graduation in English Literature from Vimla College, Thrissur, affiliated under Calicut University. India has long taken pride in its culture of inclusion, diversity and protection of the fundamental rights of its citizens. However, a major group that remains disenfranchised and still lives under the shadow of the society is the LGBTQ community, especially due to the social stigma. Till recently, very little had been made in order to incorporate this society into the mainstream section. However, much more progress needs to be done in that area. Access to proper identification, education, providing medical care and employment opportunities have to be made available to this marginalized group. This can be done due to proper legislation and implementation of these laws. India can then truly be an inclusive, non-discriminatory society. Thank you.